Camera rolling.
Hello, and welcome back to TV34 Video Spotlight. This is Tony in the studio doing some testing and checking out a couple of things to make sure everything is working correctly. We're going to be doing some interviews and talking to some different people in and around the city of Detroit, Southfield area, and different parts of the lower Michigan area just to communicate with people and let them know what's going on, what we're trying to do in TV34 studios, get you over here to get some headshots done, some things for your portfolio, get you some images done for your social media. If you need to do some video production and different things like that, for anything for content creation, we can help you with all that. So I got myself and I got my son Austin over there working behind the scenes, doing the video switching and editing and everything. So tell us a little bit about everything we're going to be doing.
All right, what's going on, people? So today we just testing out the lighting, just trying to make sure everything looks good. Really just trying to, like you just said, see how everything is going to work as far as the audio and video pieces of everything. So, like, I'm back here manning everything, switching between different cameras, just trying to make sure everything looks good. From what I can see right now, again, your lighting is superb. Like, It looks good. You're very lit up.
Good.
Which is a good thing. And then on top of that, just making sure that, everything sounds good. With video and audio, both of those are essential for this type of thing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So we just want to make sure that we just do everything that needs to be done and then, just keep it moving from there.
Right. So once we get you in the studio, we'll know that everything is working exactly the way that we want it to. We're going to have nice, crisp audio. Video quality is going to be good. And we're going to make sure that we can put everything together just the way that you want it. So that's why we're here doing these different things to test all the lighting out, test the audio sound and everything out, just to make sure everything is just the way that we need it to be, because we're ready to get you in the studio and start putting some production stuff together for you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you a question really quick. Well, I'm probably going to ask a few questions just to really capture the essence of the video.
Right.
So outside of photography, if you had to choose between video and audio, what would you like? How would you rank? How would you rank everything from photography, videography, and audio? Where would you place everything?
Video would probably be first, because it's a visual aspect to look at.
Mm-hmm.
But once you add that audio in, that changes the whole dynamic of the video itself.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that the other day, where if you put together a video and it could be a horror scene, but without that soundtrack, it's not scary.
Right.
So that when you throw that audio in and you get those certain dramatic beats, or when you get those boom sounds and different things like that, that's what makes you jump or catch you off guard, and that's what makes the video more appealing. So that audio is very important when it comes to doing video production work and everything. And it's the same thing with doing stuff like this, talking head stuff. You still got to have great audio to make keep people's attention and make sure that they understand what's going on and what you're doing. So that audio piece is very critical, just as well as the video and the lighting and everything. So it all comes together. And then with the photography end of it, you want to be able to get some nice behind-the-scenes shots and things like that, where you can capture the moment and everything that's going on behind the scenes as well.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense too. Like, I think I was just telling somebody the other day how important audio is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, imagine Barney. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine Barney theme song playing in the background of a horror movie. It's not going to be as scary
exactly
afterwards. But if you switched it and you put horror music over Barney,
right,
you're probably going to be a little afraid, because you ain't never heard a Purple Dinosaur just like, I'm in this music.
Exactly. And for example, right now, while I'm talking, you can put one of those audio tracks on there, just let it play behind the scenes. You can pump it up just a little bit to see the sound in the background while I'm talking and everything, and you can tell the difference between just plain audio as opposed to audio and you got some background music or something like that playing in the background. It can really make a difference, and it can set the tone and the pace for the whole video itself.
Yeah, I actually got something playing right now.
Okay.
It sounds like classical music.
Yeah.
So, it sounds like you those commercials for like medicine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like when you have what do you call it?
Speaking of medicine, so in Detroit,
Oh gosh.
this is the medicine for everything. This cures the common cold. It probably did help a lot with the virus that we had, COVID.
Oh, my.
It probably helped a lot with COVID. People probably don't realize that. But this, along with a little bit of, to me, along with a little bit of Alka-Seltzer Plus, Tylenol PM, they're not sponsoring any of this. But this Verner's, this can do some magic for you, believe it or not, whether it's cold or hot. I like mine nice and cold.
Same.
But I call it my driving
juice.
Driving juice. Every time I go somewhere, I got my Vernors with me. So this is a lifesaver. But that's how you can do it. You can throw some background music and things like that in it, and just it'll make the whole video and everything look different. It has a different appeal to it.
Absolutely. And it's funny. So while you had the Vernors playing, I did throw in some different background music.
Okay.
I'm just clicking like the different letters just
Yeah.
to see what it is. I know the one that I used earlier. Like I know that one
Right.
by heart. But the other ones I had forgot. Whichever one I just chose for Vernors, I'm not gonna lie, it worked.
It worked.
I'm not gonna lie.
I can't wait to see it.
You're gonna play it back and be like, dang, that's and it's very faint. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like you can hear it, but like I didn't want it to overpower your voice.
Right.
You know, and that's another thing that people don't take into consideration, that when you do have audio, especially like when you're doing live recordings,
Right.
when you have audio playing in the background, it's very important that the music doesn't overpower the person speaking,
Right.
because like it's like you're putting more attention on the sound of the music,
Right.
versus what needs to be shared.
And that can mess up. That's a real good point, because that can mess up a lot of productions that you're doing. I've seen it time and time again. And what I was going to say is the type of music that you're using in the background can make a huge difference. So a lot of people don't always say, for example, what we're doing right now, talking. You don't want any talking or verbal music in the background where people are saying lyrics and stuff like that.
Right.
You want to have something, just music by itself, because that'll interfere with the conversation. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of times they'll have rap music or something going in the background while we're talking. So people are trying to listen to that music in the background at the same time they're trying to listen to your conversation.
Yeah.
And so that can really interfere. But if you got some nice solo music playing in the background, they can really focus on the conversation and what you're talking about.
Absolutely. And I think another thing too that's important is just knowing which audio to use.
Right. Right.
And making sure that it matches the emotional tone and beats. Like,
And
for example,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, for example, like with my podcast, for
Right.
season 1 and 2, like you hear music in the beginning, you hear music in the end, but you don't hear any music while I'm talking.
Right.
Because what I'm talking about is usually pretty impactful, pretty
Right.
influential. And I need to make sure that what's being shared, what's being said is clearly being heard and
Right.
being
Exactly.
the point is being drawn, if
Right.
you will.
Right. And you have to make sure that people don't always get that or understand that part of it. You do have to make sure that that part is just the way that it needs to be, because any other thing that you have in the background, especially when you're doing visuals, that can be distracting. And that's why people do short clips, or you see like a commercial be 15, 30 seconds, but it's straight and to the point as far as what they want you to see and what they want you to hear.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with doing something like this, a podcast or anything. You want to make sure that it's exactly the way that you want it, what you want people to see, and what you want people to hear.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing that people don't think about is that the type of material that you're going to be talking about, you should figure out if you're going to have music or like any type of sound playing in the background ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because granted, if you're just starting out and you want to try something different, then cool, like try something different. But I don't think you want to be inconsistent with trying to figure out if music doesn't work or if music does work for your content,
Right.
because it might confuse the audience and be like,
Exactly.
okay, I don't know if I'm going to be expecting music at any point or if it's going to be playing in the background the whole
Right.
time
Right.
or whatnot. So like for me, with season 3 get ready to start, and since it's about to be visual, like I have been thinking about that, and 9 times out of 10, because I didn't have music playing in the background for the first 2 seasons,
Right.
season 3 it's probably gonna be the exact same
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I would say keep it the same way because again, your voice and your communication is the part that you want to be more impactful.
Yeah.
That's the part that you want people to really hear and understand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do something on the back end, or like you said in the beginning, you have your little intro with the music,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end, if you want to do some, now that it's going to be visual, you can have some visual stuff in the background with music, pictures, or something like that you can do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I think about it, because it's gonna be on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
so I've always added music in the beginning and the end during post production for audio purposes.
Right.
And then I just kind of like, actually, so I recorded for the intro, I recorded a specific piece where like it was like a while ago, I just recorded that one piece for the
Right.
intro, and then when I would record, it would literally just be me just starting to talk,
Right.
but it would blend in so perfectly because I was using like an audio software program to kind of like mix everything in.
Right.
I probably would do the exact same thing for video.
Mm-hmm.
I would just do the video, like just start off. I probably wouldn't have any intro or anything.
Right.
Like I would just talk, because my goal is, as I'm building on the YouTube platform or just like visually,
Right.
on YouTube, you can create like your own intro and then start talking.
You sure can.
In the beginning, what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just like start talking,
Right.
and I may have like music playing in the background, like, you know what I'm saying, in post production,
Yep.
just for a hot second,
Right.
like kind of how I always do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna go straight into the episode. But before I get into the episode, you're gonna see like an intro video of like what the Stay Focused podcast is.
Yeah.
So
Yep. That'll be real good. That'll be pretty easy to put together. I know the concept that you're talking about and everything, and that's the cool thing about us working together. It's like we can visualize and we start talking about different things, and we work off each other really good. So
Absolutely.
we pretty much know once we start talking or creating an idea, we can both fall in and just blend right in with one another and just peel off of one another like it's nothing at all.
yep, and that's something that we're really good at. Like, which I don't know. Like a lot of times we tend to work very good telepathically. We
Right.
don't even have to like say anything.
Right.
A lot of times we'll just, let me look into my camera. A lot of times we'll just we would just
We
know
just
what
know.
the other, yeah, we'll just know what the
We
other
just
person
know.
is thinking, and then
Right.
we'll just go from there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that you've been around me for such a long time, you know, working either behind the scenes or just seeing what I do and seeing my work ethic and my process of how I do things. I think you sort of caught on to how you can do things and how things can be done. So I think that has a lot to do with, you know, us working together and being able to feed off of one another.
Absolutely. In fact, I've been chopping it up with my homegirl Jazz lately. Shout out to Jazz. And we've been just like discussing different ideas of like different things that she would want to like get done or need to get done and stuff. And I was telling her how like she could, if she wanted to, she can utilize the studio space to, you know, be able to record like, you know, small videos or whatnot. Now, for her, it'll probably more so be just like putting up lights for her and everything, because she tends to record everything from her phone, because she
Yeah.
also edits from
Yeah.
her phone as well. So it is
And that's fine because sometimes people just need space to do that.
yeah,
And that's one of the things that we're able to do is to provide you some space where you can create your own content, whether you're using our equipment or if you want to just do it on your phone. You know, we at least give you the space where you can have a quality product more than anything.
yeah,
Quality audio and video, which is very important for what you want to do.
absolutely. And I just even been thinking about how Rob been wanting to do
Yeah.
content like this. Lighting here will be really good for the things that he's trying to do.
Right.
Whether he has a panel with him, where it's like another guest, or it's just him solo. So I think that'll work good for him. But
Right.
again, just seeing the lighting on you right now, it just works. It
Okay.
looks really good.
Okay. And then there's a couple of other lights that I'm going to bring down too that I can use for like special effects, depending on what I'm doing. Because I got one light that I can set up, and it's like a stop sign.
Okay.
You know, red, yellow,
Yeah. Red, yellow, green.
green.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring that in. That can be used as a background, and it can be to create a little bit of a atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, for the set. And then also, I've got a strobe that I'm gonna bring down here, and we can use that as well for certain things. And also, if we want to really flavor it up a little bit, I've got my little fog machines that I can use, and we can throw some mist in there, and create that nice little effect if we want to do something like that.
Actually, yeah, I think that'd be dope.
Yeah.
To like try with just different things or whatnot.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I'm realizing is that there are people that I would love to like interview,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to interview them for the podcast.
Of course.
Like,
of course.
because my podcast is so intentional, it's so purposeful.
It's streamlined for what you want to do.
Exactly.
Right.
And I just want to make sure that when I'm recording the podcast, like I have like the people already set for what it is that I want to like
Right.
have them on for.
Right.
But I'll probably do like something else. Maybe even with my Your Journey's Your Journey series. Who knows?
You could do it like that, or you could do you could be backup for video spotlight. You know, it
Yeah.
doesn't always have to be me.
This is true.
You know, it could be video spotlight, and you can be featuring on somebody, or we can do it like that.
That is true because like even with looking at the logo, I'm gonna just show you guys the logo here. So even with looking at the logo, I mean it clearly says TV34 Studios.
Right.
And this is where we're operating out of. But like while you're in the studio, yeah, like I mean this is Video Spotlight is your baby. But like you said, I can be like a guest and just like highlight somebody else on here, and then we just switch and all that good stuff.
Right. You can be subbing in for me when I'm not available.
This is true. Yeah, this is true.
The guest host,
Yeah.
for the show.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's exactly how we can do that.
Yeah, and that's why I say like I feel like YouTube will be great, like YouTube and Patreon. Like I've been seeing a lot about Patreon lately and everything. I've actually been approached by Patreon via email to like have my podcast on there as like a subscription based type of thing.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know what I would offer to my audience as like an added incentive to them. Maybe now that I'm doing like video visual and stuff like that, I can do like behind the scenes like photos, like behind the scenes like bloopers, anything of that nature that would probably be like super cool.
And that's what they would that's the kind of stuff that'll get their attention, different things like that. And the one thing that we're doing is we're trying to keep a lot of stuff positive.
Yeah.
Although people love to feed on a lot of the negative stuff and a lot of the foolishness, that's what get all of the likes and all of the attention and everything. But there's more out there than just that.
100%.
We want to create something positive. You have a father and son team here that's working together, and we're producing quality stuff, something that you'd be proud of.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And it's not that we're starting off slowly, because we've been doing this for quite some time.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's more so just the access of the studio space is just going to allow us to put out more content than we ever have before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the goal. And I think that's why right now our main thing that we've been doing is just working on like efficiency, consistency, and just knowing that, making sure that everything works the way that we need it to work.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
And I was going to say, everything is coming along good. It's funny because, again, we laugh and talk about this. All of this stuff that we have is stuff that I've had over the years. I've accumulated. I didn't have to go out and buy any of this lighting equipment and, the mics, the setup, everything. I have all of this stuff already that I've accumulated over years, and now I can actually put it to use.
Yep.
So that makes it so much easier for us. It's the cost is nothing because we already have everything that we need, so we can really start putting things together.
I just want to make sure y'all know, as I look into the camera, in this studio, I probably own like 0.5%. of the stuff in here. I got a camera bag. I got a vest. I think my laptop is in here currently. But like 99.5% of the stuff in here is Pops. So when he say really accumulating, yeah, he's been accumulating stuff over the years.
Right.
But like, even like thinking about this video here, like if we had this particular video on like Patreon or something like that, or like very subscription based,
Right.
what we could show is like a video of like the setup, behind the scenes, like how it looks, maybe even like some explanations of like this, that, and the third that are probably, really bring people in and stuff to want to be a guest or want to like be highlighted for different things.
Right.
So yeah, that makes a difference.
And this will be another way of showing them how they can set up something if they want to do it in their own home space. If they have a small space to do it at home, they can set up something similar to this if you don't have the space, because that was always the issue with me. I never had the space to really set everything up like I wanted to. And now that I do, I can do a little bit more demonstrations on how to set up your lighting, how to do different things, and how to make your video production look a lot better.
Yeah.
And having a multicam set, and that can make a difference too, because you can get it from different angles and different things like that.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, really briefly, retirement. Before we even started, we talked about how retirement is on the way.
Yes.
It's less than a year.
Less than a year.
So my question to you is this: what are some of the things that, in an ideal perspective, what is it that you're looking for going into retirement in regards to the studio, and like what you'll be doing once you retire?
Okay. So what I really want to do is just to build on the studio. Once I retire, I'm a little bit less than a year away from retirement, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's time to pull away from corporate America because so much has changed with that. So I'm really looking forward to really putting myself back out there like I used to be as far as my photography business and everything, and letting everybody get to know who I am and what I'm about now. And hopefully that this photography studio and everything else will be my retirement work plan, that I can use for extra income. Still the main thing is I'm doing this because I love what I do.
Yeah.
It's not about getting rich or anything. To me, it's not about getting all that fame and notoriety. That doesn't faze me. I just want to continue to do what I love doing. And once I retire, my goal is to, when I get up in the morning, if I'm not going fishing, I'm going to be coming down to the studio. And whether I'm actually working with a client or down here doing what I'm doing now, things like this, I plan on being at the studio 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
And the goal is to start building up the clientele where I have clients coming in throughout the day. And when I've got some downtime, we'll be working on production and different things like this.
I like that.
So that's my goal.
I like that. And, it's funny because my follow-up question was going to be, what does like a day in the life, an ideal day in the life look like for you? But, I mean, you pretty much just highlighted
That's pretty much what it's going to be. It's going to be because my wife, she's already retired, and, she's loving the fishing and everything. So the first thing is going to be, and we like to get out and fish when it's early in the morning because it's not as hot out. So we get out early where it's not so busy. We go around to the island, downtown, Detroit riverfront, go out to Lake St. Clair, Metro Park, things like that. But we do that early because once I get that done, I'm coming back to the house, getting myself prepared to come down to the studio, and this is where this is my work. This is where I'm going to be.
Copy that.
That's the goal.
Copy that. And see, this is why I'm working like behind the scenes and like trying to just get people in here and all that stuff. So as you know, I've had a couple of people just come in just to see the studio and whatnot. But some of the people that I've had in here, these are people who at some point told me that they want to like just naturally invest into it. And investment into anything like this could look like anything. It could look like them assisting, like, so for example, my one friend from church, Zeta, so she's a makeup artist and everything, and she was telling me how, like, as we continue to build and everything, even now, like if they
Yeah.
don't have like makeup available off
Right.
the strength, we can probably like work together and like have like a makeup
Right.
session going on before the shoot.
Right.
That way, if you didn't have time to do it, like, okay, you have somebody on standby that can potentially do it.
Right.
And that's always been the goal,
Oh,
to
yeah.
like be a one-stop shop. I mean, ideally, we would need a little bit more space to accommodate that.
Right.
But I mean, that's gonna come over time. Like right now,
Exactly.
we're just focused on building the foundation, and once the foundation is set, we can just build from there.
Right. Right. Yep. And like you said, that's going to come with time. But we want to at least showcase what we can do right now and some of the things that we can put together, whether it's photography, video production, if you need audio, whatever it is, we can put all that together for you. And, the cool thing about it is that with the way that we're doing things, with the multicam set or with the audio, whatever you want to do, we can put that together and we can actually give you raw footage and everything that you can take back the same day right after the session, and you can take back and edit the way you want to.
Yeah.
So, we can do the editing for you, or we can just give it to you and you can do whatever you want to do. And like I said, the good thing about having a multicam set is that we're doing a lot of the editing for you during the production itself.
Yeah.
So we're switching from one camera to the other. So that way you don't have to go in and do anything except for any fine tuning that you want to do on the behind the scenes. If you want to cut a segment out or do this or do that, you can do that. But we pretty much put everything together for you.
Absolutely. And again, I think that ties into like the efficiency part of things.
Yeah.
Like, everybody, especially in the creative space lately, like tackling various things.
All right.
So going back to my friend Jazz, right? So she's also a social media manager outside of like pretty much a freelance reporter for the things that she's doing. And, it'll probably, at some point, I'm going to get her in the studio, maybe even for like, as being a guest host for the video spotlight, have her come in and just express and explain what that looks like for her, what her goals are long-term and short-term
Right.
for the things that she have going on, and then have her to properly explain what the creative aspect for her looks like. And then just, pretty much go from there.
Right. Right. Because the other thing that we want to do is that we want to feature, people in and around the city and some of the things that they're doing that they're trying to do, to better themselves, and things that they can do to help others promote and, get better at what they're doing and everything. And that's what I've always been about, is teaching and sharing the knowledge.
Yeah.
If I can help somebody else to become a little bit more successful at what they want to do, that's my reward. Just to see you go from being a model to, modeling for me to getting a chance to get a photo spread in a magazine or something like that, or getting featured in a nice fashion show.
Yeah.
That's my goal, is to put you out there so you can get that experience that you're looking for and start building on your own. But if I can help you get started, that's one of the things that I like to do.
I mean, and you do have history with working with different models.
Oh, yeah.
And pretty much being the foundational blueprint to where they actually are doing the things that you just mentioned.
Right, right.
Is there anybody that you can think of that you may have worked with or, currently working with now that you believe that you made an impact on?
Oh, definitely. It's been quite a few that I've worked with. One of my good friends, Shantae, we've done a lot of stuff together, and we've both been helping each other, on the creative side of really showing what we can do. And another friend of mine's, her daughter Farron, I did some work for her at a fashion show, and some of the pictures that I did with her was just awesome. And I haven't had the chance to shoot her in a while on a one-on-one session. I'm looking forward to doing that, but she's been out there really doing some great stuff.
Yeah.
I was looking at some stuff today, and she's really doing that thing, and I'm really proud of her and her mom for what they're doing. But it's been quite a few people that I work with, even some of the fashion designers that I've had a chance to photograph some of their work locally, like Fly Tie. He's just a top-notch fashion designer here in Detroit. A few other designers that I've worked with in the past doing some stuff. I can't think of a lot of them right now, but Detroit has a lot going on. I think the fashion shows are they're in and out right now. I haven't done one in quite a while because I sort of got a little played out with them and everything, but I'm ready to start getting back out there and start doing a little bit more and just trying to get people in the studio and let them see what we can do for them.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now I know we've also talked about how you've been wanting to get back into like different networking spaces as you retire because you'll have more like
More time to do that. Yeah.
more time to do that. So are there any like specific type of networking spaces that you're looking to involve yourself in? Like are there like anything in the city that you know of right now, or is it just more so like you just getting out in the field and just seeing what's out there?
Well, for me, it's more on the art side of the business.
Okay.
Looking for people that are creative with their talents and different things like that. I try to stay away from things like politics and different things like that, but just trying to build a community
Yeah.
and help people see what the community is really about. I mean, for example, what we're doing here in this studio, this is a small space in Southfield, but without seeing what's actually in the studio and what we're doing, you'd never know that.
Yeah.
And so to be able to get that information out there and let people see what we're doing, what we can do for them, and just help promoting other people to do the same thing, that's trying to do the same thing that we're doing. We have to start working together and helping one another. That's one of the biggest challenges that I had once I moved here to Michigan from Tennessee. It was, as a photographer, networking with other photographers and trying to share that knowledge because so many of them did not want anybody to know what they were doing and how they were doing it. And that sort of amazed me because everybody has their own skill set.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own way of doing things and how they shoot and different things like that. And I found out with me is I'm a really good people person. I started out sort of laid back and quiet and chilled when I first meet you, but once I get to know you, then we can really get to communicate and network with one another really well. And I think I'm really good at that and letting people show their creative side more than anything.
We love that. We love that because, and I'm not going to lie, you definitely passed that people person networking bug on to me because now I'm finding myself in spaces and places where all I'm doing is networking. In fact, I know that you have, so technically speaking, we're in two different generations.
Yeah, definitely.
And one thing that I do know is like business cards are a thing.
Yeah.
So like I know on your end you still have like physical business cards, but I also have like a digital business card that I wear on my wrist all the time now, where like people can scan it and you can just pretty much
go right to your website or whatever.
Right, you have all your information available at their disposal. Because one thing I'm realizing, and I just explained this to another friend of mine's, in regards to like making an investment into this, I told her, I said, you probably would benefit from this. And I'm like, the reason why, I'm like, I still want to have physical business cards available. I just haven't had the chance to like really create some new ones.
Right.
But what I've realized is that like the older generation needs something tangible, physically tangible in their hands because they are the ones who always like hold on to things.
Right, they do.
And
they do.
Our generation, we can hold on to it, but we don't necessarily need it if we have it available on our phone because that's just the generation.
It's quicker now, yeah.
It's quicker now. So that's where like the digital business card on my end really plays in hand. But I like to have both just to be efficient for both sets of clients because I deal with clients from anywhere from like 18 all the way up to like 70, if you will.
Right.
So it makes a difference.
Yeah, and like you said, certain clientele, they want that physical card. Certain ones like your generation, they want, let me go to your website or let me go to your, let me click on your Facebook page or let me see your Instagram page. TikTok, they want to look at that stuff real quick, see what you're doing. But at the same time, one of my things that I try to do is to work with not just my generation, but the younger generation too, because right now I cannot stress this enough that everybody needs a current picture of themselves.
Yeah.
I just cannot stress that enough because I get so tired of seeing, you got these obituaries and you got these incidents where, a young person got killed or older person gotten in an accident or killed or anything like that. And you've got these old pictures that you guys see. And this is not how I remember that person.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have a nice picture, a nice formal portrait of yourself and even of your family, because that's what stays. That memory is what they love to keep and see.
Absolutely.
So that's why when I started doing weddings years ago, whenever I would go to a wedding, especially at the reception, I would set up a backdrop like this set behind us and do portraits of the entire wedding party and some of the family members because they may have a grandmother or grandfather that's in their 70s or 80s. This might be the last chance to get a nice picture of them.
Mm-hmm.
So this is that opportunity to do that. And that's what I try to do.
Love that. So now I do have another question for you. Going into, again, like keeping on the subject of photography, is there a favorite, is there a niche or like a favorite lane of photography that you prefer or that you love to just dabble in?
I love pretty much all aspects of photography with the exception of journalistic stuff to a certain degree.
Okay.
I love fashion. I love portraits, landscape. There's certain types of journalistic photography that I like to do, covering, positive things. But just photography in general is just creative for me. I love doing it. I love product photography, food photography. I've done all of that stuff. And it's just a lot of fun to see how creative I can get within myself.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing about it, and that's one of the things that we talked about before is that I got to bring the studio table down here, the light table, where you can set up and do some product photography and show you how that's done as well. So I do a lot of that, and I got some stuff that I can show you that I've put together over the years doing different things and had a chance to get beautiful, beautiful landscape pictures. Using my drone, I've got some beautiful sunrise and sunsets, things like that. So all of that is what excites me about photography.
Love that. Love that. And are there any new lanes that you might, that you haven't mentioned that you might want to dibble and dabble in? So I know, for example, one of the lanes that I would be interested in doing, I'm not sure if this is the same for you, but real estate photography.
Yeah, I've done some real estate photography before.
Mm-hmm.
A very good friend of mine was she's actually a home interior designer.
Okay.
And I've had a chance to work with her on a few things and created some really nice images that I can show you that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that I've done in the past, and I want to do more of that because I do know a couple of real estate developers and a couple of people that are into the real estate business that are always looking for pictures for their when they're trying to sell a home and different things like that. So if I can get a chance to do a little bit more of that, and that'll give me time to do that once I do retire.
Yeah,
I can get out there and start meeting with these people and doing more and let them see that I can do different things like that. If they got a big ranch home that they want to sell and they need to get some drone shots of the whole view of the land and different things like that, do interior pictures, we can do all of that with ease.
Nice. Nice. I think I had maybe two more questions for you, and then we can wrap up the video spotlight for today. First question is, so when you think about photography in a whole, and to see where it's gone from when you started in film to where it's at now to just straight digital, what's your complete thought process on it? And are there any pros, any cons? What are you thinking there?
The pros, I would say, is that the equipment is a lot more accessible. It's a lot cheaper than what it used to be. The equipment is a lot better. But at the same time, the biggest con to it to me is that it has made people a lot more lazy as opposed to learning the true process of photography and video production. Now nobody really wants to go to school to train for it. They go to YouTube University. But at the same time, and YouTube is great. It gives you a lot of good information.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like hands-on, understanding how to use this, how to use that, with photography and video production, aperture, shutter, distance between lighting and the background and the foreground, different things like that. All of that makes a difference. And if you understand the concept and the process of how to do it all, it's going to allow you to be a lot more creative. It's just that simple. It's going to allow you to do a lot more, like right now with the digital age and everybody gets caught up every now and then on the concept of this camera and that camera. You got a Sony, you got the bomb. But it's not the equipment, it's the person behind the equipment knowing what to do is what really can make a difference. You can get a $5,000 camera, but if you need help with somebody to show you how to use it, it's defeating the purpose, because when you're working, you don't have time to think about and try to figure out anything.
Yeah.
You got to know what you're doing, because people are watching and paying attention.
Absolutely.
So if they see you fumbling with your camera trying to figure things out, I'm like, they don't really know what they're doing. They're trying to figure it out right now on the go. And you can't do that. So there's a lot of pros and cons to it. The biggest thing is don't get caught up with the concept of having name brand this and name brand that. Knowing what you're doing is going to be a big plus in understanding how to use your equipment and how to get the results that you want. Because we talk about it all the time, where we've had a couple of people that come down here and we do test shoots real quick just to let them see, the difference between lighting and no light.
Yeah.
And, we feed off each other real quick, like we talked about earlier. And it's like, okay, we're getting ready to change this to black and white. Totally different feel.
Yeah.
Totally different feel. So you have to see that ahead of time. You have to visualize that. And a lot of people don't have that creative thought process. And that's where they get lagged behind a little bit.
And that makes sense. Because there is a certain skill set that goes into this line of work, photography and everything. And the one thing that, before I go into like the last question I wanted to ask you, the one thing that is bothersome is when people don't want to pay you what you're worth, what your skill set is.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, you technically have to sell them on the value of you and the value of what it is that you're capable of doing for them.
Right.
But it's just like when I had my friend Zeta in here and I was explaining to her, like, after you had left, I was explaining to her more about like the studio itself and whatnot. And one thing that I was proud of is that before I could even say it, I said, "You're not just coming in here for a photo shoot." She was like, "Yeah, I can tell you're coming in for an experience." I said, "Bingo.
Yep.
That's exactly what That's exactly what you're coming in here for." And the fact that she was able to pick up on that naturally just shows that we're moving in the right direction.
Right. And that's one of the things that I'll talk about now. It's not just a photo session. It's an experience. And once you walk through the door, everything that you experience is going to be something that you'll be able to take back and say, okay, I like how they did this. I like how they did that. I like how they worked together. I like how they fed off of one another. I like how they made me feel comfortable. I like how they were creative with the whole session and everything. So that's the difference, and that's what you're going to get when you come to us. You're going to get an experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So last question for you. As you're approaching retirement, as you are continuing to build in the studio, as you are continuing to just level up in all aspects of creative direction, photography, all of that stuff, is there anything specifically that you want to teach people moving forward about this creative space, whether it's photography, video, audio? Is there any things specifically that you want to like teach at this season of your life?
The biggest thing is to believe in yourself. Believe in what you're capable of doing and focus on that. Don't let anybody or anything distract you. If you have a passion for what you want to do, no matter what it is, believe in yourself. Focus on what you want to do you know, study, read, practice, train, test, do all of those things that's going to make it better for you. And there'll be times where you'll wake up in the middle of the night because you have an idea. Or there'll be some time when you go to bed trying to figure out something and it'll hit you in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you may have to get up and either write it down or get up and just set stuff up because it's fresh on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so those are the things that you do. And as a creative person, it can wake you up in the middle of the night. It can hit you at any time of the day and any time of the night. And as long as you stay focused on that, things are going to come to you. You know, keep faith, keep God, you know, in the plan with you. And more than anything, what we talk about all the time, stay focused and keep moving forward.
That's it. That's all. Listen, I just want to let you know that we are 46 minutes in.
Okay.
Which is like not bad at all.
Okay.
You know, like we've been like really locking in with this and stuff. And I also like, so as you look back on this video, what you'll notice is that my lighting has gotten a lot darker because it's starting to get darker outside.
Right.
Your lighting has stayed the same. It actually, before we started, we talked about how like we'll be able to see it
Right.
better. I'm not gonna lie, like your lighting is still
Yeah.
like top tier.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm really anxious to see like how it's gonna look on, you know, via playback.
Yeah.
See what that looks like.
Yeah,
And
and
then
I probably will put together, you know, edit the video and put it together, and it may be something that I will go ahead and post on YouTube, just the conversation that we're having and everything and what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that'd be great. Like I said, I don't mind me looking a little darker or whatnot because I don't technically have any lights. In fact, the lights for the studio aren't even on.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
so that's another thing too. Like if you guys are looking at him right now, what you'll see is like he's very lit up.
Right.
Versus me right now, I'm not as lit up as I need to be.
And I'm going to turn the light on just so you can see just the lights in the studio itself, and you'll see the difference how it lights him up. So let me turn that light on real quick.
Okay. Yeah, so as he turns these lights on, you're going to be able to see momentarily. Okay, so yeah. So there is a difference. Yeah, there's definitely a difference in the lighting,
Right.
and it makes a difference.
Yeah.
With you, it looks exactly the same
Mhm.
because your main lights are right in front of you.
Right. Exactly.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. But yeah.
And those are the kind of things that we want to teach. Those are the kind of things that we want to show and we want to train on how to do this. And, you know, it's a simple process, but at the same time, it can be complex depending on how detailed you want it to be.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the next time we shoot, I think I want to try one where I'm like actively standing up
Okay.
and whatnot.
Okay.
I know I'm pretty tall, but
Yeah.
like I want to try one where it's like standing up versus like sitting down, just because I feel like I'll be able to like move my hands a
Yeah.
lot better
Yeah.
that way, you know.
Exactly.
So we gon' like I said, we gonna see like how the next one looks, but yeah, we were just, you know, testing out some things
Right.
and just figuring out how it looks, how it sounds,
Mm-hmm.
really just again testing out because again, season 3 of my podcast is coming very, very soon. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of putting it on the back burner. And I haven't been putting it on the back burner on purpose because I don't need it to be like perfect or anything. It's just I've had like an information overload of like different things being shared with me about my personal life and just things of that nature. And season 3 is going to be the most intentional, the most personal season that I've ever released. Season 1 was like really setting the foundation. Season 2, a lot of changes and transformations happen. Season 3, the exact same thing is happening. So right now, the goal is to really wrap my mind around the fact that I am growing, that I am changing in
Right.
different ways, and just know that your tribe will always find you.
Right.
Like your tribe will stay with you. Like no matter the hiatuses and everything, your tribe will find you as you're continuing to build, and your tribe will support you like through thick and thin.
Right.
I mean, that's just what it is. So, you know, shout out to my Focus family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really have much else to say. Cox,
Okay.
I don't know if you want to, I figured you would want to like, you know, wrap up, but then also like probably have some last words.
Okay. So to wrap things up, great session, great little conversation piece that we've had and everything. And just to talk about, you know, being passionate about what you're doing and being dedicated more than anything and staying focused, you know, on what you want to do. We're here to help you out if you need us. I want to be able to provide space for you and a creative background for you to do different things as well as us helping you create that. but at the same time also building the studio up, and things that I want to do and that we want to do as a father and son to keep the business going.
Mm-hmm.
And again, thank you for watching this TV34 Video Spotlight TV studio special on what we're doing down here, and just really want to get you down here and hopefully get you featured on the Video Spotlight program. So stay tuned, keep watching, and we'll have more coming to you very soon.